First at 4, a push to stop crime in the district. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I'm Simone D'Alba.
I'm Adam Longo. Over 100 community activists, they packed inside of the Wilson building. They're there right now as D.C. Council prepares for its first vote on this massive crime omnibus bill. Delia Gonsalves just stepped out of council chambers and joins us live from inside the Wilson building. So Delia, we know that this is the first of actually 2 votes, but let's talk about these advocates first. Why did they feel it was so important to come out today?
They say it's their civic duty to be here. They wanted to be here. They said there's a lot at stake and that the council members needed to know where the people stand on this issue. Take a look at the monitors. You can see that the session is still happening right now. Lots of debate, and all those advocates are no longer in the hallway. They're in those council chambers. You know, this is unlike a hearing I've ever covered before, packed with advocates applauding, talking back, responding to the council members, jeering. At one point, Council Chairman Phil Mendelson had to bang his gavel and threaten to empty the chambers because they were being so disruptive, he said, actually drowning out some of the speakers. But let's take a look at some of this video of what that chamber looks like right now. The call went out earlier this week, and you know, those activists, they responded. Dozens of folks from community groups, ministers, returning citizens, and we're talking civil rights advocates, lobbying these council members ahead of today's legislative hearing. A hearing, by the way, which was delayed by more than 2 hours as council members discussed several concerns they had with the secure DC omnibus. The most controversial measures, we've talked about them before, extending this summer's pretrial detention measures, allowing police to set up drug-free zones, and the collection of DNA evidence at time of a felony arrest.
What's at stake is mass incarceration. What's happening right now is really the expansion of criminality when it doesn't get at the root of the problem.
We would urge the council to make sure that they have an evidence-based, comprehensive public safety system that's more proactive than reactive.
We worked very hard over the last several weeks to work with all of our colleagues and incorporate some of the concerns that they had.
Right now, the bill would allow law enforcement to take DNA from a person who's arrested. Not a person who's been convicted, not even a person who's been charged, but a person who's been arrested. And when you think about how many of the cases that the U.S. Attorney's Office has that are never prosecuted, you're talking about a lot of potential DNA.
In fact, at this, Councilmember McDuffie says up to 66% of felony cases are never charged, and that's why he pushed an amendment calling for police to collect this DNA evidence only after someone is convicted of a felony crime. Listen, there is a lot of discussion, several amendments on the table. I've counted at least 5. Some have been dismissed temporarily while they continue to work things out and delay that amendment until the second vote, which is likely going to happen in another 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. But lots to discuss here on this very important bill that really impacts so many DC residents and visitors to the District of Columbia. So I'll be back at 5 o'clock with a little more impact and a little more response from inside the chambers. Back to you in the studio.
Yeah, it sounds like it might still be going on for some time, so we look forward to that updated report. Delia, thank you.